Wow, wow, wow.
Are we back?
Yes.
Back in the room. Welcome back, everybody.
We are back. And hello, everybody. And you didn't have to send our tech crew into a spin just now.
There were guys running around all over the place trying to keep 2 metres apart
Oh
from each other.
my goodness, weren't they?
But hopefully we sorted it now.
Hopefully. Apparently it sounds alright up here, so we're going to play you another song. And then we're going to get our Richard Digance up, aren't we?
Certainly are, yeah.
We own him now. Don't we? We've signed contracts and all sorts. So we're
No,
going to sing
nothing of the sort.
So we're going to sing you a song, and hopefully the sound is better in this half. So enjoy.
This is a song called Shadowlands.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh.
Put your capo in the right
Oh,
place.
no.
This is live TV. Yeah, I'm still a bit hoarse from that cause yet.
Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 4. From inside, I was too damn late, but I go wedding band. It's left me lonely in the cold Shadowland. Shadowland, I can still hear him cry, like a seagull circling in the evening sky, like a single wave on a lonesome strand. I'm washed up ashore on that cold Shadowland. Shadowland. Still hear him cry, like a seagull circling in the evening sky, like a single wave on a lonesome strand. I'm washed up ashore on that cold Shadowland. Shadowland. So to hell with this love that has taken my soul. Now he's gone and I'm free of that cold Shadowland. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love, it was all of my life. I once had love in that cold Shadowland. Shadowland.
Shadowlands.
Oh, there's a little clap one back there. Now we're going to be brave and go back to the sofa, and hopefully you won't abuse us when we go there. All right?
Yeah.
Everyone just be nice out there. Okay, off we go back over here.
Try not to trip over the lead.
Okay, how are you all doing? They're okay, and sound's still not great. Stay on the close-up. They want us on the close-up.
They all want. They just want to look at our faces.
Yeah, I think that's what it
do
is.
sound.
What can you do?
So, would you like to make this next introduction?
Well, it's an absolute honour and privilege to welcome our next very special guest, and he happily agreed to help us out, and I sent him a message a couple of months ago, and once again, honoured to have him here, Mr. Richard Digance.
Yay!
Hello. Hello, Richard. Welcome.
Mind your head.
Like, very low beams here. Richard's a lot taller in real life than he is on the television.
Yeah.
You see the shoulders.
There we are. Oh, goodness me. I was hoping that wasn't going to break, but you're all right.
It's all right. The guitar's still standing. We're all okay.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, there's no sound on the cameras. It's all coming from the desk.
Yes.
So it's not one camera that's causing the issues. So
yes.
just to make people feel a bit more comfortable.
Yes. Oh, thanks for
That's
that, Richard.
true.
Yeah, it's,
Yes. So go ahead, ask him some questions.
Well,
Don't
I
get
went-
stage fright. Let's
well,
get in
I'm
stage
slightly
fright.
starstruck all day, but because my earliest memory of seeing you perform, Richard, was when I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. And
Me too.
Well, that's great.
Well, you remember mine, the audience.
Yes.
It's been around a long time.
Possibly
You know.
cute.
Shared the same cot.
My parents used to go to friends for dinner, and they'd get drunk and stuff, and would put me and my younger brother in like a spare bedroom where we were kept out of the way. But there was a television in there, and we were just left to sort of flick through the channels. There was only 4 channels back in those days, and so I was flicking through, and there's a guy singing on screen, and it caught my ear immediately because I was quite young. And it's been 30 years, so let me. I might get this wrong, but he was singing something like, "At the annual cartoon characters ball given once a year by the Toad Hall."
Yeah.
Is that, you remember that one? Is
I
that,
do
is that
remember
right?
it. Yeah, I wrote it.
You wrote that one, yeah. And then after that, you turn on the telly, you'd always be there. You'd be popping up all the time, you know, as a music and entertainment. And it seems to be a really big thing. Certainly when I was growing up, as we were having a chat earlier, there'd be shows like the Grumbleweeds had their own show, and Cilla Black would present something like Surprise, Surprise, but you'd always sing a song on there, and it's sort of music and entertainment on television was a really big part of my childhood, and it started to die out, you know, as I got a bit older. And I was going to ask you, Richard, what do you think it was that sort of killed off that wonderful sort of family entertainment? I mean...
I think variety became a horrible word for someone odd reason, really. I just remember when I first got on telly, I was quite lucky. I was one of the rebels, you know, when we came through what we called the folk entertainers, the Billy Connolly's and the Mike Hardins and so on. We weren't doing gags, you know, we were more anecdote storytelling, you know, and having a laugh and whatever. And so it was quite refreshing for the public. And I was brought up with the bloke with the velvet jacket and the bow tie doing mother-in-law jokes, you know, and stuff. And there's always transitions. But I do tend to agree with what you're saying is variety is badly missed, not just this year, but across the board. It's changed so much. I'm not a huge fan of reality stuff. I'm certainly not a fan of things like X Factor and stuff, where music is a competition.
Yeah.
Where the panel are more important than the performer, which is totally wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
They may be millionaires, but it's totally wrong.
You tell them.
And
Yeah.
I've just told them.
You tell them.
And what hurts me about it all, really, is when you get slagged off, I get slagged off. We all do, you know. It's part of the fabric, really, you know. But when someone's got the audacity to slag you off on television, that shatters the confidence of someone.
Yes.
And they probably give up. And that's
Yeah.
not what music is all about. Music is what Dom's doing, you know, what you're doing, and learning your trade.
Yeah.
And there's 2 fallacies. One is that you can go on telly once on a show like that and be a big star. Well, it might happen once or twice, but there's thousands that fail. And I think that's so wrong. Music should never be a competition. It's to be loved. And I know that sounds corny, but it's actually
no, I
true.
totally agree. And I've found we've
right.
played in pubs and small venues for a very long time now, and often you get somebody, you know, drunk at the end of the night. You should go on X Factor. Why haven't you gone on X Factor? Because I'd rather be here, to be honest. You know, I don't want to be. Well, for a start, I wouldn't get on it. I mean, seriously. I mean, I sing from the heart and I write songs that I like, but it's you've either got to be absolutely, sounding like Whitney Houston, or be a complete lunatic to get on one of these shows, because it's television. It's a freak show. That's the
So
way
you're
I
not
find
going to go
it.
on X Factor then, Richard?
If they asked you to be a judge next to Gary Barlow or something like that.
Well, I'd have the money. Yeah, but see, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Gary Barlow's a great songwriter, but whether he's there to judge other songwriters, I don't judge other songwriters, and I don't think it's my place.
Yeah.
And that's where television has changed so much, excuse me, since I started.
Yeah.
Way back 1984, I think I started
was
somewhere
born.
around there.
Yeah, it was the year you were born.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw you. I saw you screaming. I thought I could scream better than that.
So he shared a cot with me, and then he waited till you come along.
You were
and
the
then
first face I saw.
I always say that I've been around so long. I remember when the Dead Sea wasn't even ill, and that's how old I am.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, can everybody say, as this is Rich here, can everybody say A up Rich? I know it's a different Rich that some of you have said A up to, but make sure you get your A ups in there. And Richard, can you give us any tips on how to be a good chat show host?
Well, you've got so much to learn. It would take me
How
hours.
dare you?
We've got all night, we've got no... well, there's a news at 10.
Richard, be nice. No, some tips for us.
It's weird, isn't it? As soon as
Yeah.
you go live, the world changes. I worked in radio actually before television. I was at Capital Radio in London, and I actually presented the first ever folk program on commercial radio in the country.
Oh, really?
And I was petrified. I really was. Well, we were live,
Yeah.
and I've got stories. I
Well,
won't
go
tell.
on, do
for it.
one. You got time.
But to get over the nerves,
Yeah.
the reason I was edgy was because there were so many big names on Capital then. It was
Yeah.
a big radio station for its time. And Kenny Everett was one of the DJs, who I
Amazing.
thought was brilliant. I almost worshipped him for his anarchy, And I was talking to him, and he said, never think you're talking to an audience when you're doing a radio show, or what we're doing now.
Oh, so they're not there.
It's not a case that they're not there, because they are there, and
Yeah.
hopefully they're
Not there
enjoying
now.
They're
themselves.
interactive here as well.
Yeah.
They're all complaining.
They're all complaining.
Are they?
No, they're not. No, they're saying A up Rich, A oop Rich.
Yeah, that's all right.
A
Give
up
the spelling
Rich.
mistakes.
You got about 10 A up Riches
Oh,
just
right,
for
okay.
you. No,
Whatever
carry
that
on.
means.
Yeah.
But what Kenny Everett said to me was, take a photo of someone you know in the studio, into your studio, and just put it in front of you, and talk to your picture, to your photo.
A picture of me. In
No,
my...
and a picture of your mum or your
Oh,
mate
yeah.
or your next door neighbour or someone you know,
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great piece of
and just
advice.
get into interplay with that photograph.
So is that what you did?
I did exactly that.
Who
Great.
did
Now
you
this is
choose?
different, of course, because there are people watching, and the intimacy is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the people watching don't understand how difficult it is, because it really is difficult, because you are talking one-to-one to more than one-to-one.
Yes.
And
of
that
course,
is tricky.
We found that when we,
Yeah,
because
true.
throughout lockdown we just did our own show from home, which we filmed on a phone, and the audience grew over the weeks. But that was very strange because you couldn't see anybody.
Yeah. But Mike didn't mind. He just kept on.
I just kept rabbiting
just
on
kept
and
on.
Yeah,
stuff,
well,
it's-
as
you
long
get
as you're
used to
enjoying it,
yeah.
I mean, it goes back to what we were saying about X Factor. Music is to be enjoyed. It's not to be
Yeah.
judged, and I stand by that.
Absolutely.
And I know I'm sounding serious. I'm not
No,
really
it's
that
a really
much
good
of a
thing to say, isn't
serious
it?
bloke, really.
Somebody's
but
got to say it.
Yeah.
Let it be you.
I don't
Yeah.
mind saying
Yeah.
it. And Simon Cowell used to sing funny songs,
Did he?
and by all accounts, he weren't no good.
Did he? I didn't know
and he-
that.
I don't know much
He
about
did. He did. Yes.
There
And
are videos on YouTube.
So
There
he's-
are indeed.
He's yet qualified to judge, generations of up and coming singers himself.
Yeah, that's madness.
To have an opinion on.
I don't think he's qualified to do anything. To be
Well, no,
perfectly honest,
we
No.
Well, I won't say what we were talking about, Simon Cowell, when we're outside. We'll save that for another time. But
Oh.
but I think we all share the same opinion when it comes to those sort of programmes. Anyway,
He once
Yeah.
said, "I don't like comedy songs."
Right.
He said that on
But you
on
just
that
said he did them
program,
when he was younger.
Yeah, but he found
And he
One
used to
Direction.
sing
How could he
them.
say that?
Ah.
and it's all very well talking to a camera. The one thing here, whether you've got sound issues. Of course you have. It's the first time out. You know, everyone's got teething problems. Everybody, any show will have teething problems. That is inevitable.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
but
right.
but he has a habit of saying one thing to please millions of people, which he does, I'm sure, admirably, but not in my book. You know,
No.
because the most important thing when someone is singing a song is the person singing a song,
Yeah.
and not the person who comes on afterwards and slags them off. I don't like that.
No.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Would you like to ask Richard what he's been up to?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, you've. I follow your page on Facebook. I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but I've enjoyed seeing what you've been doing. So, yeah. Apart from writing a book, running a string of successful free online guitar lessons, and starting a protest movement, what else have you been up to during lockdown?
I began with the first online folk festival, which was called Folks at Home.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got some mates, Steel I Span
Brilliant.
and various other people to help me with that, to raise money for less fortunate folkies, basically, because it's not a well-paid facet of music anyway. And I still have, hopefully, lots of mates who were even struggling way back March time, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just got worse and worse for them. And so I did basically what you're doing here, but did it as a festival.
Yes.
And people bought tickets, and I was able to help out those who were a bit short, you know, which I was
That's
very
wonderful.
proud of.
What a great thing to do.
Are you doing any
I
more of
enjoyed
those?
it. Well, we ran out of videos. We had, I think, in the end, about 50 hours of
Really?
that I got off Cropredy and
Yeah.
various other festivals. My mate Nev, who works with Peter Gabriel and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and Sting and so on, so he was a real whizzo on the old vids. And he just gave me a load of stuff. We got clearance from the artists, and yeah, we formed the first ever online festival, and it worked, and people at least saw some light at the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
So,
Because-
can we be on the next one?
No,
Oh, unbelievable. Oh, my heart.
I'll leave it.
Oh, I'll sweet talk you afterwards. Don't worry, we'll be on it. Don't worry.
Well, you
guys.
don't ask, you
worry.
don't get, I
worry.
suppose.
Yeah.
You did ask and you didn't get.
You
That's
didn't
really
get.
horrible.
Oh.
I don't know if we'll manage another one because of just
Yeah.
getting the videos together. You know, it was a
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
big
lot of
job.
work.
Oh, a lot
People
of work.
don't realise
you know,
how much work it is.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did that, and then I did some guitar lessons.
Yeah.
Just because, only because a mate of mine was saying, I've got so much time off, I'm going to learn to play the guitar. And I said, yeah, I suppose a lot of people are doing that now.
Yeah.
And I was really showing them fingerstyle, which I can show people in a little while here.
Yeah.
Because everyone says, oh, that fingerstyle, you know. Blah, blah, blah,
Well, it
blah.
is lovely.
Yeah.
But we all play the same way.
Oh, do you?
That's
Everyone
the
you've
thing.
taught?
It's a bit of a con. You look at us lot, and we all are of a very similar style,
Yeah.
you know. And you get Don there playing with a drop D,
Yeah.
with his strings changed
Fancy, I
and
know.
stuff. But predominantly, it's that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you a story of how that came to be because it happened in New Orleans. The
Yeah.
guy that started that claw hammer finger picking stuff, it was only one man, and if he hadn't ever lived, none of us would be doing
wouldn't
that
have-
technique,
Really?
which is where the thumb plays the
That's right,
basically
yeah,
the rhythm
yeah.
or the drum or whatever. And these two pulled the strings like a claw hammer, and that's why it's called the claw hammer.
Claw hammer, yeah.
It was
I
invented.
mean, people have adapted a bit over the years. I mean, I'm a fan of Mark Knopfler. I love Mark Knopfler's
Me
playing.
too.
And,
Me too.
And when he plays the electric, he's playing fingerstyle.
He is indeed,
And,
it's the gaps he leaves.
Yeah, the
that are
phrasing
beautiful.
is, yeah, I've always had taught guitar a bit over the years, and it's the one thing I really try and put across is if you're going to be writing or coming up with your own things, it's about the phrasing, you know, it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
about the gaps, you know. But yeah, I've always enjoyed the sound of the flesh against the strings, really. If you know, it's my
real,
favourite.
isn't it?
It's real, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's,
you're very emotional about it all. It's really nice to see that you really care about musicians that are
It's
struggling.
all I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and-
it's,
and
you
when-
can really see it when you talk, how you
Yeah.
really feel it.
And when
It's so
a bloke
nice.
standing outside a house in London says I should retrain,
Oh, yeah.
I have nothing else.
Yeah.
You know,
And why
I
should
don't
you?
have anything else, and so I can't do anything else, and that's why it's passionate. I mean, I've been on the road for 52 years, and would you believe a fact that not for money, but just to help out, I tried to get a bit of a van delivery thing with Tesco's, and I didn't get it because I had too many points on my driving licence.
Oh, for
Really?
a job? Oh no, really?
I sat down, worked out that I have driven over 2 million miles in
2 million
52
miles.
years.
There must be a song in there somewhere.
But it
Sorry.
ain't good enough to deliver a crate of vegetables, you know.
That's
And
ridiculous, isn't it?
that makes it ridiculous, you
Yeah.
know. You just
Yeah.
think, oh, this is stupid. Jason Manford did exactly the same thing and
Really?
got rejected, you know.
Really?
Yeah. And it's all very well to flippantly stand there and say, entertainment don't mean anything. It's unviable. You know, I'm sorry, mate. You're
Yeah.
wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and I know the nation think he's wrong as well.
Of course
Yeah.
they do.
We are not considered. What you're doing is great because you're helping not just you guys, but everybody else around, you know, who needs something, some sort of sustenance, you know.
Yeah.
And we certainly, our industry, just for people watching, we're not getting it from the government. And so it takes people like yourselves to fend for yourselves.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
so
why
We're
I'm
lucky.
not pleased.
Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
So we're lucky to, in this day and age, to have the platform of social media and the internet to actually put yourselves out there in a way that we wouldn't have been able to do had this have happened 20 years ago. So
But at the
Yeah.
same time, that does bite you in the bum as well, doesn't it?
What it can do,
Yeah.
what I would say to the people watching is that we're all doing our best. That's all I can say. We're all doing our best, and if the sound does get a bit iffy, it might be your equipment, it might be their equipment, it might be anything at all. But we are doing our best, and there will always be hiccups because none of us set out to do this. We want to be on stage, we want
Yeah.
to be doing gigs, you know, and showing what we're made of. And we've had to adapt.
yes,
You've had to adapt. I've had to adapt. And the people doing what we're doing, your techies over there, they've had to adapt as well. And it takes tolerance because this is a first time out, and it's going to take time. And don't forget, 8 months ago, none of us expected this.
absolutely not. No.
And we're all just edging our way along for the love of music, not to be a millionaire person on a panel. We're doing it for the love of music, and there will be
Absolutely.
hiccups. And I mean, this show is nothing to do with me other than I'm delighted to be upon it.
Oh.
But I will say that please, the people, be tolerant because it does take time to get it right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Very well
lovely.
said, Richard. Thank you. Yeah.
So you're doing. Let's see what some of the people are saying. Well done, Mr. D. They're saying, and wow, what a history. And shouldn't that be Dickie? That's our other
That's
Richard.
our bass player is Richard as well, and he's not been able to work with us for the last 8
Good
months.
to hear about your experience in broadcasting. So
I've got
there you
more.
are. So they can hear you. That's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they can
One
actually
thing
hear
I
what you're
wanted to
saying.
ask, if it's okay, and not going off thread too much, but just going back a bit, you supported one of my all-time favourite bands, and that's Jethro Tull.
I did. I
loves
did
him.
2 British tours with Jethro Tull. I
Brilliant.
did,
And that was Songs for the Wooden Heavy Horses. With
Heavy Horses. Now, Heavy Horses is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And I said,
tricky to
I
try and
remember-
play it.
He's a good player. And I remember saying to Ian Anderson, you know, in years to come, Ian, that will be a folk song.
Yes,
You know.
absolutely. But it is. Yeah, the subject
it?
of the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marie's not a fan of Jethro Tull, are you? It's, well, you don't know it, do you?
Not
And it's
really.
and I
Great
found
song.
that with any girlfirlriend I've had over
Oi.
the years has never liked
Is it
Jethro
a-
Tull.
is it
I
a
don't know whether
man
it's a
band?
man thing or not.
Yeah.
But
I remember in Glasgow Apollo, which is, you've got to imagine this, it's like a massive theatre, bigger than Hammersmith Apollo. And I was supporting, and they had a bass player called John Glasgow, who
Yeah, sadly
unfortunately
died, yeah.
passed away. And so they were a little bit short of material, re-rehearsing, getting up for the tour. And Ian said to me, you know, would you support us? We need an extra bit of 45 minutes. I said, I'd be honoured.
Oh,
You know,
brilliant.
and I walked out on Glasgow Apollo, and you bear in mind we're talking 4,500 Glaswegians who were shouting out,
Oh, yeah.
Anderson, Anderson. And out walked this little waif and stray from the East End of London, and they all started really giving me a hard time. And Ian Anderson, to his credit, walked on stage and said, excuse me, everybody. They went, yeah. He said, no. We're not on yet, but Richard Digance is helping us out here. He's a friend of the band, and I want him to be your friend as well, so show him some respect. And off he went. and I had sailed through it after that.
Brilliant.
Really?
My confidence could have been shattered.
Could have been.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
and Ian Anderson didn't have to do that.
He didn't. No,
And
that's,
but there again, another muso, you see.
yeah.
And we do rally together.
Yeah.
You know, we are rallying together tonight.
Absolutely.
And even on live gigs, Toll was a good tour. I did a load. I remember one year, I can't remember what year it was, around about 1977, I think it was. Before I was born, funny enough,
What?
I did 217 supports in 365 days.
Wow.
Wow.
From Joan Armatrading, in Super Trout, did Breakfast in
great.
America and
Fantastic
stuff
gigs,
like
yeah.
that.
But you loved it all, right?
Yeah, but you know the reason I got the gig was because I was easy. I was a bloke who played guitar.
Oh, yeah, just plug it in and go.
Yeah, plug it in and go. They
Yeah.
they didn't want another drum kit. They didn't want a back line. You know, they wanted a
Yeah.
bloke who could go out there, get people singing,
Yeah.
have a laugh, loosen up the audience. But more to the point, when I was done, I'd walk off.
Yeah.
And so when A&M Records, which was really the Joan Armatrading, Elkie Brooks, who
Yeah.
I was with for 4 years, A&M said, look, we've got a tour coming up, whoever it was, David Essex, whoever it may be, get Digance, it's easy.
Brilliant.
They didn't weigh up whether I was any
That's
good
why
or
we
not.
got you, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Digance
exactly.
is easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could have
You'll
brought my
talk for
band.
Hours. Is it 11 o'clock now? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But no, I was an easy thing for them, and so consequently, I could do as many as I wanted. Once
Yeah.
I'd got in there, it's like being, a civil servant at the BBC. You know,
Yeah.
once you
were
got the
man
gig,
to go to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it until, funnily enough, until I went to Capital, and then I became a proper radio man, proper job.
Did you enjoy doing that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learnt my trade in radio, in hospital radio, when I started
Yeah,
out.
you've got a good voice for radio.
Oh yeah, and the
Yeah.
look, I've got the perfect look for radio as well. haven't I?
Absolutely. Completely perfect. So you've had an amazing life, wouldn't you say?
not bad.
I'd say, wouldn't
I
you
would
say?
say, yeah,
I
I'd
would
say
say.
that,
not
yeah.
You've had an amazing life, and that is wonderful. And now you're doing this strumming together, aren't you? Which
am.
has evolved from one thing into another. Because it started with your one song that you did, didn't
One
it?
song called
Yeah.
Hey Boris,
Which is brilliant.
well, I think
yeah.
this morning it hit 50,000.
Is it
That's
50,000?
amazing.
views.
50,000 views.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
on that you rolled in loads of other musicians, didn't you? And
I did, yeah.
And so how is it evolving now?
It's going really, really, really well. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the official clearance to do an official petition to the government.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get it because it's against them, so they're not going to be very happy with me.
That's true.
But it's
Yeah.
basically just trying to find a way to get entertainment back to a live situation. Because, people say it's tricky and all that. Well, yeah, but people sit on aeroplanes, but they can't sit in theatres. People can roll around on a football pitch and gob and hug each other and kiss
Yeah.
while the coach is standing on the sideline with a mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think, what's going on?
Yeah.
There just seems to be rules for one.
Yeah.
And we must not lose the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Pubs upwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not talking about massive theatres,
Yeah.
although they're involved. Any place that has live gigs has got to be helped.
And you're talking about gigs in the future, aren't you? Like
Yeah,
trying to
very
make
much.
gigs for the future.
Yeah.
And then get some subsidy
Well, that's
from
not
the
even a
government.
word.
A subsidy
Yeah,
Yeah.
some
From-
funding
Dosh.
from the government.
dosh
yeah, some
from
dosh.
the
yeah, that'll
government
do.
to help support that for the
Yeah,
future.
well, that's what the whole thing is, and
Yeah.
and they strumming together is
So,
the page.
strumming together,
group.
everyone.
That's a Facebook page, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
a
group,
So you
yeah.
can
Join
find
the
that
group and put support in. If you've got a song to play, what's your criteria for the songs?
The criteria of the song is nothing that's on YouTube or anything
Yeah.
like that because it's not monetised.
Yeah.
If you want to make money out of it, go and put it somewhere else, like
Yeah.
we all do.
Yeah.
But this is not to make money, it's to make a statement that please listen to us because our industry is hemorrhaging. And anyone watching this must understand that we're entertainers, but we ain't got anywhere to play.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why we're settling for these
It's
live streams
true.
at the moment,
Yeah.
which is a good platform, I think, because we have the technology. Ultimately, we'd all love to be playing live and also going out to see shows live as
Sure.
well. Because
Yeah,
we
I
all-
miss going to a live concert that we
love
can
watching
dance.
bands as much as we love playing. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of head moshing's good for you. It's good for
well,
the
I
soul.
keep my hat on, you know.
You
but,
do keep your hat on when you head mosh, don't you?
Yes, it's stuck to my
But
head.
no, it is a bit sad. And the way they're doing it now is with spread out tables and you can't stand up and it kind of ruins the
hard.
atmosphere.
It's hard, but you've got to do something, you know. I mean, it's
I agree.
for a lot of
But
these
you're
pubs.
you're not going to do Shropody next year?
Shropody is for your feet. That's maybe you're going to retrain as a chiropodist.
Do you need
perhaps.
any Shropody? No.
So you
How'd you say it?
Cropody. is it?
Cropody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do that
Well,
next
we don't
year?
know if it's
Yeah,
happening.
well, I do it every year. I've
You
done
are
it
gonna do
for
it.
16 years, I
You-
think,
yeah.
something like that. And it's they call it a folk festival, but I mean Alice Cooper's done it, the Beach Boys have done it, and and
Yeah.
10cc have
It
done it.
started as a
Yeah.
folk festival, didn't it? I think
Say again?
it started as a folk festival.
Very much so.
Do you
But-
always
yeah.
headline it?
Do I headline it?
Yeah.
No, Fairport Conventions
It's the-
I
Festival.
thought you said he headlined.
You had no,
Or
first
you
first
open-
act on the Sunday. Is that right? Was that
Saturday,
Oh,
yeah.
I
It's always your
Saturday, yeah,
your
and it's
spot,
my little
yeah.
slot,
So you
really.
always
Yeah.
have that slot.
That's
yeah,
nice.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
And we muck
Yeah.
around. We have a great time.
Yeah.
We do the world's biggest Morris dance, which is 22,000 people.
No way.
and we try and make it bigger every year.
Yeah.
And it gets, I don't know, about 250,000 hits
Does it?
every year.
It's amazing.
And it's a bit of an institution of what Cropperty is now.
And can we play the next one?
No.
I don't book it.
Oh,
You're a right hustler, you are, aren't you?
Well, we didn't get where we are today without hustling, you know.
come on, Rich, we're friends now.
Well, come and clean my windows at home, and then
Yeah, we could take
I'm
a
a good
chance.
cleaner, isn't that right, Martin?
I'll think about it.
I cleaned this boat, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll clean
Yeah,
your
we
boat.
should have done the inside as well.
Hi! I'll clean your windows for all that. Right then, guys, look, strumming together. Oh, yeah, they're saying we'll get in that. Can you give a link to Richard's campaign? So that is the strumming together.
It's strumming together.
Yes, it is,
yeah.
yes.
So it's on
Yeah.
Facebook. If-
Richard is a legend. Love to see him on screen again. I don't know.
well, I
that's
think you can see him on screen.
Here he
now.
is.
Oh,
Here he is.
He's got his own camera there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. Yes. Yes,
Ah,
yes,
lots of
yeah,
love
yeah,
and
yeah.
support for you there, Richard. which
They're,
is
now
good.
they're staying close up on the cameras. All is fine. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
The tech crew are well confused now.
maybe my face has sorted it all
I think
out.
your
because
face,
Sorted
as in
out.
your
I
own
am a
sound.
stunningly
Next time
attractive animal.
Next time I do one of these live
Animal.
streams, I'm going to take Kenny Everett's advice and just have a picture of you up on the thing, and
Yeah,
just bring
that's a
a
good
calming
idea.
atmosphere. I think.
I
we
think
talk
it's
to you?
presumptuous to think that you'll be invited to do another one. But
Hey,
But-
what here?
Well, I don't. Well, nowhere.
No, we'll present it. We'll present
that's
it.
This is
Yeah,
Hiccups
sod it.
shoes. Richard Dydon's and Marie Dance, everybody. I'm just going to go out and clean the windows and
Wow.
get back later.
oh, this will lead to all sorts of stuff, won't
Yeah.
it?
Well,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
absolutely. Yeah,
I'll
you've got
work
to-
with you. You'll fall in love with me. We'll get married. You'll have children. He'll be dumped. Then we've got to look after kids. Then we split up. Then we've
Do
got to,
we?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you
Well-
break up with me or?
No, I only get married for presents.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we get
Oh,
married.
Yeah, good.
Give them the list.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
need a
yeah.
new carp rod,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm sure you do as well.
Well, yeah,
so we'll have
always likes a
two.
bit of freshwater fishing, haven't you? Yeah.
I'm completely lost now. No, go on.
Well,
Then
we
what?
all are. And then we split up,
Oh, do we?
halve the
We're
presents.
still friends though, right?
No, what's the point?
Oh.
Nah.
All right, well,
And I'm not taking you back.
You've got nothing to do with it anymore.
No, I'm out of the picture. And apparently,
It
that's
sounds like
sod's
you're
law.
stranded, girl.
Oh, so I end up alone. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
On
I
a
end up
houseboat.
alone
on a houseboat, but a very clean one.
A very clean one. Well, I'm glad we've sorted my future out, everybody. I mean, we're running, we're doing well on time.
We're doing well on
Good,
time.
good.
That's good.
I think what we'll do now is ask you to play a couple of songs for us.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. Can you play a couple of songs for us?
Yeah, I'd love
Excellent.
to. Yeah, I'll tell you
So-
about the guitar thing.
Yeah.
But I'll do a song first,
Yeah.
and then I'll tell you something that's very interesting for any muso,
Yeah.
which is where the term gig came from.
Oh, I don't know that.
Well, no one knew. No one
Oh.
really knows. Well, few do, but not many do.
Yeah.
But I know where it comes from, so I'll explain that. So I'll knock a song out.
Okay.
Yeah, just,
And
We're
then,
going to leave you to the stage area,
yes,
you just need to plug
okay.
in.
and I'll help you do that. I'll help you plug
I think
in.
he's
Do you
plugged a
need
guitar
help?
in before.
Is there security?
You're looking at them.
So we're going to help you plug in.
Yeah.
Going to help Richard plug in a guitar.
Help him get out of the chair, more like.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have got some of those chair raisers that
Okay,
the
guys,
occupational
we're-
therapists.
We're now going to Richard on the stage. He's going to play us some
plug in,
songs.
don't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pick a chair and I'll get you a plug.
Any chair?
Yep. Okay.
Not that one.
Oh dear.
I'm coming down here.
Thank God this isn't live. When this goes out, they'll
Oh, we'll cut all of
they'll
that.
sort
Yeah.
this one out.
There we
That's
go.
it. Thank you
There's
very
one.
much.
Okay,
Yes, thanks.
Okay, we'll leave you in the capable hands of Richard Digance.
Richard Digance, everybody.
This is what's hang on.
Oh, good, it spins.
Revolving chair.
It spins.
It
I'm gonna
does.
take this away.
But I'll put my foot down.
Put your foot down.
Put my foot down here.
Okay.
Okay.
The two things at the moment that we're all concerned about are health, obviously, and well-being and safety. And this song sums it all up. Last week I did a week on Countdown last week, and I decided to take my guitar for the first time in about 200 countdowns, purely because I was distanced from Susie Dent and it was difficult to have conversation. Took me guitar, first time. Oh, Richard, that'll be great. Yeah, sing a song, and I decided to sing this one. And on the edit, they took the whole first verse out, and so this is the. TV wise, let's call it TV.
Yeah.
This is its world premiere. If you're feeling tired and worn out, this song will rejuvenate your craving. Try a massive portion of caffeine, pantothenic acid riboflavin, glucomonolactone, niacin sucrose, sodium sulfate, CO2 and glucose, carbohydrate, sugar, caramel. That's what you swallow when you drink Red Bull. Don't think that's all you're shoving in your mouth. Try limonene and sodium hydroxide, carbohydrates, sorbitol, silica titanium dioxide, sodium thiosulfate, hydrated CO2, saccharine and glycerine, all mixed up for you. That is what you'll taste without a doubt. Every time you squeeze your toothpaste out. So energy and hygiene cost a lot. To keep them you must swallow a laboratory. I could list the things that other things have got, but this song would expand into an oratory. So don't bother keeping fit, don't bother smelling nice. Find another lazy slob, that is my advice. Kissing won't be pleasant, that is true, but you may live an extra year or two. There you go, that's the one. I don't understand why they took the first verse out. So anyway, yeah, gig. So there am I. See, this isn't the only boat I've ever worked on, you know. I was on the Oceana, the big P&O one, which is, I think, going rusty off Weymouth at the moment, I think. But anyway, I was there down in New Orleans, and I wanted to get off the ship. I'd done my little show, and I wanted to go and find a blues club, because that's how I started, you know, student and all this. And I found one. Walked in, and there was a black guy playing the piano, and he was brilliant. And I went up to him, and I said, "Excuse me, can I do some stuff with you?" And he looked at me and went, "No," because I had a dinner jacket on, because I'd just done the show on the cruise. I must have looked a bit weird, and there was all these black guys enjoying their roots music, which was fantastic for me, because that's how I sort of was brought up. And
he said to me in the interval, he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Well, I'm British." And he said, "We don't get many British people in here," because it was off the beaten track a bit and not touristy. And he said, "Do you know the term gig?" And I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Do you know where it comes from, the derivation?" I said, "No." He said, "Come with me." And we walked out to this little fire exit, and this tiny little club, only the size of what you see on the camera. It was only tiny. And we stood on this little street corner. He said, "This is where it happened." He said, the guys that played here, the old blues players, what happened was, after the show, they'd go out on the street corner and do a bit of busking, trying to earn a few more dollars. But the white police got wind of what the black musicians were doing, and so they started arresting them for loitering with intent. And so we formed in New Orleans what you people in Great Britain know as marching bands, and you think they're for carnivals and parades. They're not. The reason we formed a marching band was because if we were walking while we were playing our instruments, we couldn't actually get arrested for loitering. But the white police got wind of that, and so they arrested the black musicians for running away from the scene of a crime, you see. So basically they never stood a chance until someone came up with a great idea, a little flat-back carriage drawn by 2 horses, and if the musicians climbed on that and the horses went around New Orleans, they weren't loitering with intent on the street corner, neither were they running away from the scene of a crime. And that carriage was called a gig.
Yes!
That's how it came to be. And it all goes back to the year of 1898. And I did mention earlier about guitar styles, and we are all the same. And this technique was invented. It didn't just turn up. It was invented by a blues singer called Mississippi John Hurt, who was a brilliant composer. And the first ever ragtime piece taken, not on the piano, but onto one of these acoustic guitars, was a thing called Jitterbug Rag. And that's what started it all in 1898. And I'll show you what he wrote. This is what he played and how he did it. And he was a brilliant composer and a crap guitarist. And I'm going to do it exactly as he composed it and played it all those years ago in New Orleans.
Thank you, Richard.
So much, Richard.
Pleasure.
It's just been lovely talking to you so much. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
That's all right, no
We
problem.
really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I never thought we'd be able to get Richard on the show.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we did. It's
And
fantastic.
thank you, Dom, over there. He's still there.
Yeah.
Thank you. And sorry about the sound, everyone, at the start. So we're going to say goodbye to Richard now, and then we're going to do a song to end the show
To end the
with.
show.
I shall
So
disappear.
Thank you very much,
once
Richard.
again for everybody at home. Richard Digance.
Where's the cheque?
Oh.
In the post.
In your shoe, actually. I put it in your shoe. Oh. Okay, brilliant, loved it, fabulous, excellent picking. There you are, Richard. Well done, Richard. Good song, great song, brilliant. There you are, feeling the love. The love is coming in. So there you are, our two fabulous first guests of our first ever show.
Yes.
And now we will go and play the final song.
We'll play you out, and thank you everyone who bought a ticket to come and support us on this new way of doing things, shall we say. And keep supporting the live music. Check out Richard's page, Strumming Together, on Facebook.
Yeah, and Dom O'Brien
on Twitch, and at the couple of gigs that were advertised earlier, which don't ask me to remember the dates.
Just ask us later, we'll let you know.
Later. We can put all that information on the page anyway, but it's been lovely to come and present this to you all tonight, so
okay, our
thanks
final
for joining
song.
us. We'll sing you one more song,
Okay,
and it's
then.
a brand new one.
Thank you, Dom. Do you want this one, don't
I
you?
can't play that one, it's give the next two
Bring me
short.
that one then. Wow, how time flies when you're on air.
I know, the 4-hour wait to actually started went on forever.
Took ages.
But this show has flown by, which must mean that we were enjoying it, even if nobody else was.
There you are, have a plug. No?
Plug. We haven't got any gigs to plug now,
No gigs, this is it. So this is a new song that we've written. We're calling it The Channel for now. Okay.
Yeah. I must remember that fact. It's too far down. I don't often come down this far, so I have to kind of make a mental note of where it is so I can launch into it when required.
Right. Thank you for joining us, guys. This is our last song. Ready? 2, 3, 4.
My mind is where I find the strength
you very much. Thank you for sticking around this evening.
That's scary with Dom and Richard.
Yeah, it was
watching.
terrifying. I just imagined a picture of Kenny Everett in front of me, actually, but that can't be right now.
So, well, there you are, guys. It's like 10:15 already. You should all be in bed by now. So, you know, you're in bed at this time these days.
Normally I am now. It's just getting older and no gigs to go out to. So what do you do?
Yeah. So, thank you very much to our tech crew, and you can do a little glimpse at them if you like. Have you seen them?
There they all are.
Yay!
Yay! Big wave for the tech crew.
Go on, Rob, wave.
There he is.
There you are, and we will see you all next time.
Let's see you at the end, and we can start again.
Love you all.
Take
Thanks
care,
for joining
everybody.
us.
See you again soon. Good night.
Bye bye. And I said, what are you on about? What are you even doing it? Unbelievable, I say. These little things.
Very much enjoyed that.
I've got camera's arse.
Why is it being fed?
Oh, thank you.
We still might have it. We walk off with
Done it again.
See, the thing is, the sound coming out from these is absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
Even
and the
desk.
sound doesn't.
You're on the camera.
Right?
You're on the camera. Yeah.
We'll have to listen back to the recording.
Oh, we're still on it as well.
It must be the OBS sound.
You're in the camera now, so what? Yay.
Right. I had to get on the app, didn't I? I say it.
Well done, everybody. Fantastic job. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you, Dom. Did you want to make the roll?
Yeah, you went on stage with the rolling. Yeah. Say Mark.
Message I don't, I never remember.
If you wanted to put attention there, you can take some with you.
It was great. But yeah, the sound. There was shaky sound. Sorry, we stopped streaming now?
Yes, it's just across the see the lights on there.
It's quite good.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's what I felt like. You can't abuse them as the comments are coming in. Like I felt like it's yeah, exactly what Richard said. You did it in a very nice diplomatic.
Yeah, I mean, the sound was absolutely perfect. The sound was absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with any of it.
I really enjoyed it though.
It's fine, though. That's when you're on it.
You only feel so bad.
Yeah, you won the golden courgette.
It was getting quite but you're sure there's not a bit of sound effects?
I'm never going to go
We've got to say no rotational.
circular breathing. Yeah, Dom is a master of the didgeridoo. I forgot to
You could have carried on as well.
that was a whole fucking barrow.
Went in.
Yeah, I'll show you how to do the same.
We did forward and we all know you lived in your voice.
Yeah, no doubt. That'll elevate my profile.
Yeah, then all your Murdoch's gigs now, you're going to expect a courgette in the middle.
Yeah.
You gotta like and subscribe, you know. You know it makes sense.
I can't do any other accent.
Well, it's lovely, isn't it? You want to like, subscribe and share.
I don't even know what you mean, man.
I don't even know where you're coming from.
Just push the goddamn
Push
button.
the button.
More bananas.